My name is Camille John, also known as Camille Claudette. I am a soca artist based in New York, representing Birch Grove, St. Andrew, Grenada, and Brunswick, Carriacou. I am a public figure who has been representing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique for over 10 years now. My job as an advocate for the culture is to influence the patrons to engage in the culture of Grenada and travel to Grenada to partake in our annual Spice Mass celebrations. Now, as an integral part of my job is to return home occasionally and invest in the art form and contribute to our country's main source of economy, which has shifted to tourism. I returned home on July 12th, 2024. As you all could see, I was doing my interviews, music videos, performances, and I market Grenada to the world in the most positive way. On July 27th, 2024, Damian Clouden, a professional carpenter also based in New York, returned home to help rebuild Carriacou, which was completely devastated by Hurricane Beryl on July 1st of this year. As we both ventured on our missions to give back and invest into this country which we call home, things took a tragic halt for us on September 13th when he fell from a two-story building in Carriacou. From that day forward, it has pained me to come to the reality that our country's system failed us terribly. Damian suffered severe life-threatening injuries, and he was admitted to the General Hospital in St. George's, Grenada, where unfortunately I had to witness the most terrible healthcare. It's so hard for me to talk about. The most terrible healthcare that I have ever seen in my life. I asked for recommendations around the Caribbean region, which Damian could be transferred to for treatment, when the doctors told me that there was nothing they could do for his injuries in Grenada. I was denied that option, and Damian was discharged in critical condition. Even though we live in New York and we were trying to fly back to the United States for treatment, since I was being told that treatment in the Caribbean basically wasn't an option for Damian. As the system in Grenada showed me that they could not do, or rather they were not willing to do anything to help us, my family started a fundraiser with the platform GoFundMe to make an appeal to the public to raise $70,000 US dollars to afford the cost of an immediate medical evacuation for Damian from Grenada to New York in the United States. Damian was on his deathbed and his time was running out. Now, I must say, by the power and grace of God, who shined his light above men, we were able to get out of Grenada on October 5th with Damian by the skin of our teeth, to rush Damian into ambulatory care in New York City, where he immediately began treatment and is still undergoing treatment as I speak. Now, obviously, this doesn't just affect Damian, but it affects everybody involved, including myself. So now, as a soca artist, representing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, as an advocate for the culture, a representation of the culture, whereby I'm supposed to influence persons to fly to Grenada, fly into the country to support the endeavors of tourism. My question is, how would you like me to proceed with performing this duty of mine? I just want to address how some persons actually said to me, Camille, you're a soca artist. Why didn't you tell the nurses and the doctors that you're a soca artist so that Damian could get better treatment in the hospital? You have artists who actually stayed silent on this situation. Why? Because they know that when they walk into the hospital, they get star treatment. You have big politicians that stayed silent on this situation because they know that anything happened to them in Grenada, they could fly abroad for better treatment. You know, people were like, don't they know who you are? And I was like, why does it matter who I am? Everybody should be getting equally treated with human respect in some place like a hospital, you know? And no, it was not going to be headlines, soca artist Camille, you know, is going through this ordeal with Damian Cloud. And no, this was not about me. And I was not going to use that. What leverage would that have been to me? And to see that this was the mentality coming from Grenadians, I realized that that is the way of life for you guys. And that deeply, deeply depresses me. It deeply depresses me. You know, if they had known who you were, they would have addressed you differently. That's not the way that is supposed to be. But moving along, I am asking, as it's my duty to influence people to come back to the country, music is something that is one of the most influential things to every human being. And that's what I do. I make music that represents Grenadian culture to influence and invoke people to come down to Grenada. And you guys have left a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm trying to figure out how to press forward with inviting people into Grenada through my music after what you guys have done to me and my family. Big politicians refusing to address the situation. I just have questions. Do we continue to ignore the blatant issue with our healthcare system? The blatant issues that our country is facing, and just hope to God that visitors don't come down and bust their head in Grenada because there's nothing we could do for them? Do we just tell our visitors, like a lot of you guys were commenting to me, oh, you should have had travel insurance? Do we tell our visitors, come to Grenada, but make sure you have your travel insurance because we can't help you? Is that how we're promoting it? Is that how we're advertising it? Do we tell people that they're just supposed to have a nice fat 70,000 US dollars put away just in case anything happened to them so that they could afford a medical evacuation to fly out? Is that what we're putting out there? You guys have yet to address the situation, and the whole world was watching and saw exactly what you did. And it's not going to get shoved under the rug. I know that's what you're hoping, but not with me. I'm not shoving it under the rug. My family still lives in Grenada. I live in Grenada part-time. This affects me. I have to go back home. This affects all local Grenadians. How can we shove this under the rug? So I'm going to ask you, as a soca artist and as a representative for soca, carnival, spice mass, do we continue advertising spice mass and encouraging visitors to come, knowing that we're not addressing a very serious situation at hand that could affect them. Because telling visitors, come at your own risk, or when you book your ticket, don't forget to click the travel insurance button, means that you're putting it on them and you're not going to fix the solution internally. You're not. What are you doing? What does this mean for potential visitors to Grenada? What does this mean for local Grenadians? What does this mean for the economy of Grenada? What does this mean for the future of Grenada? Y'all have already failed me. You can't go back in time and undo what you already did to me. But what I can tell you is I want to fix it. I want to work with you guys, alongside you guys, to fix it. I love my country, and I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I am grateful to God that Damian survived and he's alive. I got through the first half of this nightmare we are facing as a family, and that is all thanks to God. So now what I'm asking you guys, pressing forward, we are approaching November. As an artist, most people, my fans, y'all know what that means for me, right? When it comes to the soca calendar, you guys know what I'm talking about when I say it's November now. What can we do together to fix this issue for Grenada? And I'm not just talking about fixing the training over at the hospital with the staff. And yes, Mount Sinai is here to partner with the hospital. The issue is much bigger than that. Mount Sinai can't fix Grenada. There is a bigger issue that Grenada is facing, and it's not just the staff at the hospital. It's honestly a domino effect. And I'll get into that. I'll dig into that issue separately, about the bigger issue that our country is facing that is bigger than the hospital. Mount Sinai can't fix that. How do we as a people stand together, right? The land of 100,000 jab jab, yeah? How do we stand together to solve our issue that we have with ourselves? It's internal. It's internal. And we need to fix it. We need to unite to fix it. And I'm willing. I'm not here to bash my country. I'm not here to bash my country's government. I'm not here to bash my country's people. I am my country. I am my country's people. I'm not bashing myself. I love you guys. And I want to work with you guys to fix the issue. So tell me, how can I, as a public representative of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, be of assistance in fixing this very serious matter? Because like I said, November is approaching. I'm supposed to be getting ready to get in the studio and start producing ads. Music is ads. Grenadian music is advertisement for Grenada. What do you guys want me to put in the ad is what I'm saying, because that's my job to share to the world, right? I'm supposed to go and create music for Spice Mass 2025 to encourage more visitors to come back to Grenada. And I want them to feel like it's a safe place to travel. We promote Grenada as one of the safest places in the entire Caribbean. And this summer, I did not feel safe in my own country, okay? I'm walking down the street like Be careful, Camille. You don't want to fall and hit your head and end up with a TBI because you could die. And there's no remorse. You guys had no remorse. We need to fix that. We need to fix that. You guys didn't cause the accident, but guys, we have to fix that. These issues need to be addressed and significantly improved to make Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique a safe place to travel for everyone. Travel insurance with American entities cannot be the only option, and it is not an option for local Grenadians. So I stand with the people. I stand with the people of Grenada, and I demand justice for the people of Grenada. I demand justice for myself and what I have been put through this past month and a half. I demand justice for Damian Clouden. I demand justice for the local citizens and the citizens abroad who plan to return home. And as a citizen of Grenada, I demand justice for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique.